This meditation is about building an inner life that enables one to do one thing that will free them from their karma. And it really is love. It's really being a happy person, enjoying your life, being open in your life. And I think that is, that's the essence of all of this. And all the craziness that goes on in the world, it's just a lack of consciousness and chakra systems that are undeveloped, immature people that are promoting themselves and their egos and in the process of doing it, hurting other people. And it takes time and it takes a lot of need to build the kind of inner life that eventually allows us to realize God is love. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. There are all the books and the, mystical books and this and that. Ultimately, it all equals, there's an equation, it all equals being a happy person, having joy in your heart, love inside you, compassion for the sufferings of other people, being kind. Does anyone have a question they would like to?
Mhm.
Yes, Aileen.
Hi.
Hi.
Most of all my life, I have been by myself because I really don't fit in any place, and that's a good thing because I really like to be by myself. So my question is, how can you attract your soul family, other people that are like you?
Aileen, I can empathize with your situation because most of my, younger days when I was in my 20s and teens, I was a loner. I traveled around the world practically by myself, hitchhiking from country to country. And I lived that way for many, many years. And I also realized that I was hiding in a cocoon that I had woven around myself to protect myself from allowing life to become an extraordinary teacher. And as soon as I began to realize that, I didn't get out of it. It took time to build a system inside that was strong enough to recognize that every person who comes into your life is there to teach you something important about yourself. And it's a matter of opening to people, and it's a matter of building the strength inside that trusts life, that life is there for only one purpose, to teach you how to get closer to God. How do you get closer to God? You got to have joy and love in your heart. You have to be open to that kind of thing. I've said it 100 times. Happy people are enlightened people. But you can't be happy living in you can be, but if one is living in an ivory tower, you understand that they've created some crystal palace around themselves that nobody can enter. It just doesn't work. We have to be full of joy and compassion no matter what the experience is, no matter who we're with. And some people are very difficult, I must admit it. Even today, I still find them difficult. But it doesn't matter. My job is to truly keep my heart open, have compassion, and find a way to like myself and to like other people and to ultimately discover that each and every human being who comes into your life in some way has something to teach you that will help you get closer to your spiritual enlightenment. So the answer to your question, dear, is you're doing it. You've got to build a system inside that trusts life. And if you build that kind of system, there's really nobody can really hurt you because your connection is to God. And no matter what people do, you understand it is in some way teaching you how to continue to build that connection with God. I mean, I've had people done to me absolutely the most outrageous stuff. I can't even talk about it. It's so surreal. And I kept going to Rudy and Nityananda, and then there was Ramana Maharshi and Ramakrishna and Sarada Devi and a bunch, and the answer I got from every wise being: forgive them. You will never move on in your life unless you learn how to forgive the people who have hurt you. And to recognize life is a sacred teacher. And we need to build a system to be able to use all of his teachings for one purpose: to get closer to God, closer to our spiritual life. And some of the teachings are just a good kick in the ass, and we need it. We need a good kick in the ass, just to remind us why we were born and what we're here to learn. Everything else is transient. It comes and it goes, and it's just, money and power and, relationships, and it all comes and goes. While it's in our life, these things, we have to enjoy them, but never to think that they're permanent fixtures. They're not. The only real permanence is a connection with higher energy in the universe. Then you can love people. You never be intimidated by anything anyone does to you. And you can love them. They're teaching you something about yourself. So I understand, Aileen, because I went through it, man. From the age of 16 to the age of 25, man, every time I think about that period of my life, it makes me work harder on myself because I never, ever want to return to that. Does anyone else have a question? I hope it's clear. It's important to learn these things. And have patience, my dear. Have patience. You don't free yourself of what you're living through in a day or two. It takes time. And honestly, no one is ever free from what they haven't experienced. Nobody's free of money until they learn how to have money and not be attached to it. No one's free of relationships until they learn how to have relationships and not be attached. Just love the person who's in your life without being emotionally drained by the situation. It doesn't mean we don't have all kinds of experiences. It's essential. But we have to learn how to live, have these experiences, enjoy them, love them, share our life with others, and at the same time, be free of them. Does anyone else have a question? I'm happy to be back. God bless you, to see all these beautiful faces here. And I know this is not an easy work. There are much easier forms of meditation than this. But I also know another thing, that if you do it, it works. It really works, but you have to do it. You have to focus and do it. and not fanatically, do it. Come to classes, sit down 20 minutes a day at home. And then the rest of it is the rest of your life. And bring all the things that manifest for one in these classes into the rest of your life. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask?
Stuart, can you talk about difficulty with people in your life that have resistance to what you're doing with your meditation?
Richard, just use them to grow and become more of a human being inside yourself. Understand? I mean, they're just there to teach you how to love them unconditionally. And then maybe your loving them unconditionally will teach them how to love you unconditionally and give you the freedom to do in your life what you need to do. I mean, they have a singular purpose. I had that most of my life. People, family, I was the black sheep of my family. I was the crazy kid doing yoga, meditation, gurus, Swami. I was the crazy kid. And when I finally learned to love the members of my family unconditionally, particularly my mother, unconditionally. I remember the phone rang and my mother called me up and said, Stuart, I'd like to come to your meditation classes. It was extraordinary. And it was me that changed. I got to a point where I was no longer fighting with these people about what I wanted. I was so secure in what I was doing that it opened something in them. I always tell people that it's never the other person's fault. If they have opinions and blah, 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 da, da, open, love them. If it's essential, if you need them and they have to be in your life, then love them unconditionally. And continue to build a connection with spirit and allow that connection to work in your life so it produces a marvelous, wonderful life. And it's amazing how people see that. And I can't imagine anyone in this class hasn't been through what I'm talking about. I've been through it. Good God, have I been through it. Love them unconditionally, no matter what they say. Because if it insults you and it intimidates you, it's only because you're not strong enough to allow it to bounce off you. You're not secure enough in what you do in your life to allow the things they say to just bounce off you. And usually people that have the most opinions about how other people should live, having the faintest idea of what other people really do. It just doesn't fit into their preconception about the way the world is supposed to work. And one of the greatest things about the kind of growth I'm talking about is you begin to eliminate preconception. The world it's God's world, created. It's like one gigantic improvisation life, And everybody's trying to fit it into their cubicle. How do I fit infinite energy in the universe into my little one-room apartment? Can't do it. Got to open and embrace it and let it make you grow. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you. As I tell you all the time, you all are my teacher. I come here, and these classes are essential for my growth. And God bless every one of you for being here, being part of this. And all I wish, look, I'm not getting any younger. And if I have a dream in life, it's just to give all of this away. To give it away. Like Rudy told me the same thing. He don't worship me. Don't even love me, he told me, just learn what I have to teach. Learn what I have to teach. Remember he told me that, I said, Rudy, it's impossible not to love you. So I don't give a shit. Just learn what I have to teach. Don't build shrines to me. Don't this, don't, just learn what I have to teach. Then you will free me. I won't have to come back here to fix all your messes up, So thanks, and God bless you all. And there'll be a class on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Stuart.
All right. Good night, Stuart.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.